And we're back talking with Ken Busby, an old friend who's the executive director of the Route 66 Alliance. Uh, Ken, let me kind of pause here for just a minute because I want to bring up my little involvement with Route 66.
Yeah.
A few years ago, my wife and I decided, let's travel this road. Let's see the country from Route 66. Well, as you know, a lot of it's gone now, but you can follow the route close to where the original highway was, and then kind of times get back on Route 66. So we went up to Illinois and stopped at a place called the Totem Pole Trading Post that's been there since 1933. Brought back a refrigerator magnet. I had to go get this thing. I wanted to be able to show it. Uh,
That's
but
great.
that you talk about a historic stop.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the guy that's the owner now. His grandfather started it
Uh-huh.
back when the highway was constructed.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when we made the trip from Tulsa west, we ran into things like that all along the highway. It's
Yes.
an incredible journey that you've got to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody should do it once, at least.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you made it? Have you made the trip?
I've done it from Chicago to Oklahoma and some of the western, but not all of it. So I've got to complete my western journey.
Well, it's get with Michael Wallace. He will tell you the best place to get cream pies,
Yep.
uh, chili,
Mm-hmm.
the best hamburgers. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's got it nailed, man, and
He
he's got a
knows it.
list of places to stop.
He does. He knows it all.
He does. Uh, are there things on the drawing board that aren't being talked about yet that we can maybe get into a little bit, like what you just revealed uh, about the alliance and
Mm-hmm.
what's coming?
Mm-hmm.
That folks might have an interest in and be able to learn more about Route 66.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of things, good things happening in the Tulsa area through the work of the Tulsa Route 66 Commission, which I also chair. We've been doing a neon sign grant program. Neon signs, huge on Route 66. Some of the earliest uh, ways of letting travelers know where to find a great motel or a great restaurant and that kind of thing. And so we've spent a good deal of time and effort and money, thankfully, that we were able to do through Vision Tulsa funds to be able to promote neon sign restoration and new neon sign development. So already in about the past, I guess, year and a half or so that we've been doing the program, we've had 19 new or restored neon signs installed along both alignments of Route 66, the 11th Street, which we all refer to today, and the original alignment, which was actually on Admiral Boulevard as you came into town. And so we've had 19 signs. We have another 14 in the works that are either in fabrication or going through permitting right now. So, within the next 6 to 12 months, we'll have an additional 14 signs coming up. So over 31 signs, just helping promote neon. And for Route 66 fans, there's also a whole section just of neon fans that'll come out. So here's another reason to come to Tulsa, to come to Oklahoma, come see the great neon signs. We're also adding some, we aren't, but Oklahoma City's really getting on board and adding more neon signs. So it's like there's a good direction we're going. And then for the entrepreneurial side, which would make Cy Avery happy, we're developing a facade grant program that we'll be unveiling probably in July of this year to help local entrepreneurs things like tuck pointing of their buildings or restoring historic elements to the buildings that might have been lost or damaged over time. In other words, making these facilities more appealing so that travelers going down Route 66 would say, oh, I need to stop in that shop and see what's going on there. And so we're helping with the facade grant. So a lot of cool things like that are helping businesses and helping entrepreneurs develop for the Tulsa area. And we hope that that'll be replicated more and more across our state as we head toward our state centennial of Route 66 and the nation's centennial in 2026. So everything we're doing now is really geared toward that. We've also installing, working with the Lieutenant Governor and the Oklahoma Department of Tourism has been a champion for this historic Route 66 signage. So we really are helping communities all along throughout Oklahoma, really get new signs to let folks know, here's the historic road, here's where you exit to get back on the road, those kinds of things. And so that's been a great addition to the state, because one of the things we hear most is people just wanting to make sure that they're on historic Route 66 to make sure they're traveling the right road. And you were talking about how parts of it you can't drive anymore. You can still, if you work at it, find about 85% of the original Mother Road and travel that today if you work
Yeah.
at it. Yeah.
I've got a piece of it that I picked up. We got off on the old road, and I had to pull off for a minute. I won't go into why, but as I started to leave, I noticed there was a piece of the road broke off. It went right in my pocket.
It was
So
calling your
I
name.
brought it home.
Say,
I have
take
no
me,
idea
take me.
who might have driven over that.
There is no time. Probably, I mean, Sir Paul himself may have driven over it. You never know.
Almost lost my wife. Where were we when you spotted that? Well, anyway, I won't. No, I don't know if we're in Santa Rosa, but anyway, close to, not too far from Tucumcari.
Sure.
And I noticed she wasn't around. We'd stopped at this place that was a car museum, and went in and we're looking around, and it's really sweet because at the time of day we were there, we were the only two in the room, and it's a huge place. I turn around and there she is with her checkbook out trying to buy one of the cars. And it's a car that she and I were in back when we were first married. And I had to go over there and shake her back to reality. I mean, Route 66 does that. You know?
It does. It does. That's great.
Anyway,
I'm sorry you didn't get that car. I'm sorry Linda didn't get that car. That's too bad.
What? Oh, stop it. I wouldn't have a pull for it. When we got up to Illinois, something kind of strange happened. When we were at this totem pole trading post, a fellow up there told me that Route 66 actually divides after it's in Chicago. That there are three outlets. There's the main Route 66. Then there's one made for industrial travel.
Right.
Then there's one made for military travel.
Right. Right.
You know, for moving munitions and that sort of thing. And what's interesting, I did a little reading on this and found out that when they built the interstate system, you already know this, that sections of the interstate were made thick enough to hold a fully loaded C-130 transport plane if it needed to.
Yep. If there needed to be
Dwight
a landing.
Eisenhower,
Yep.
Yeah, Dwight Eisenhower was already looking ahead to make this the sort of thing that the highways that existed at the time, plus the new interstates that were coming online, we'd be able to help individual cities and states that needed it in the event of a major emergency. Enter Route 66 to his thinking.
Yeah.
Route 66 became an artery for those places that they needed to get onto to get freight to places that needed them. It's an amazing connection there, and it's all chronicled in a book about Eisenhower.
Yes, yes. No, he too. Eisenhower was very much a visionary, and thinking ahead and how to multi-purpose and multitask. Yeah, very much so.
Well, Ken, first of all, I want to thank you for taking time to come in and visit with us. You have no idea how much I've enjoyed having you here and hearing you talk about the Mother Road and about Avery and all of the things at Centennial Plaza, you know, the neon lights. There's so much. The hotel you mentioned.
Yeah.
I hope the state appreciates the impact that the Mother Road's having on our economy in terms of tourism. Do you think they understand it?
Oh, I think absolutely. And I'll tell you this, the Lieutenant Governor gets it better than anybody. He's our #1 champion. And he's working so closely with the Oklahoma Department of Tourism, and they're on it. I mean, they're really making those efforts to showcase and to celebrate Route 66 and make it that draw. I mean, tourism is the third largest industry we have in Oklahoma, and so they really do get it, and they're out there selling it every day, if you will, and we're just seeing more and more opportunities, you know, like in Tulsa, and I'm back on Tulsa because that's where I'm based, but still like the Mother Road Market, taking an old 1937 grocery store building, converting it into Oklahoma's first food hall. Those kinds of things. The shops at Mother Road Market, which are supporting local entrepreneurs, you know, doing bookstores and wine shops and you know, those kinds of things. It's like it's Tulsa's doing that. Oklahoma City's starting to do some things. Other towns are looking at it, and they're really looking at entrepreneurism, and that's what's exciting to see is this sort of concerted effort across the board to really make something happen with Route 66 and to help tell that story. So it's great to be a part of all that.
Yeah, well, and one word of warning: if you're planning to see the leg that goes from Tulsa to Monica, you're going to need some willpower. I got to tell you, if you start hitting all the hamburger places, all the malt shops, and by the way, the malts are made the old way. They're made right there.
Yes.
The pie shops, the tourist stops, you're going to end up too big for your seatbelt.
Yes, you might.
So do a little planning.
Yeah. Do a little planning. Maybe give yourself a little time, do a little exercise routine before you head out, and yeah, and then when you get back, plan to do it again. But yeah, you're not going to go hungry on the Mother Road, that's for sure.
Boy, that's another thing. Oh, and on the Chicago end, swing by Springfield, go by and visit Mr. Lincoln.
Absolutely.
His museum and his crypt there in Springfield.
Yep.
Ken, thank you, my friend, for coming by and visiting with us. And maybe we can do this again down the road and break a burger.
That sounds great, Sam. It's great to see you, and thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Okay, bud. Take care of yourself.
You too.
We're all out of time, folks. Thank you for being a part of it and hearing about the Mother Road. If you have questions, call the Route 66 Alliance. Look them up. It's well worth your time. We'll see you next time.